Hello, hello, hello. Antphrodite here, your pop culture psychic, back to you again with another spooky, ooky reading. So, the alleged Japanese Kitsune killing stone, or I guess it's just a Japanese killing stone, has apparently been split right open. And legend has it that it has a demon inside of it, the Kitsune, that is supposed to go on a rampage when it's released, and so it's known as the Japanese killing stone. So a murderous demon is supposed to be on the loose right now from it being split open after hundreds of years or something like that. So I'm gonna go ahead and do a reading on the Kitsune and the stone and see kind of like what happened or what's going on or if there's a spirit in it, whatever. No promises that I'm gonna get anything here because I don't know. This is an experimental reading. Not really sure what I'm gonna get, if I'm gonna get anything at all. But it's being highly requested and this is really fun and challenging. So remember, these readings are all legend for entertainment purposes only. Let's get started. Okay. The Five of Wands is reversed to start off. So that's avoidance. Four of Wands. Remove from safety. Lover's card reversed. Is this the history? Lover's card reversed. Seven of Swords is a victory. King of Cups. And the Queen of Cups reversed. This looks like the history of the stone. So we're looking at the history of the stone. It has to be because the Four of Wands is like an uncomfortable environment when it's reversed. It's like a destructive environment or something that was supposed to be safe but wasn't. The Lover's card is like a lover's quarrel or a separation between two. And then we have the King of Cups upright and the Queen of Cups reversed. So those two are two that go naturally together, obviously of the same suit. The King of Cups upright with the Queen of Cups is reversed, which means the female energy here did not get what it wanted. The Seven of Swords is a victory, but I see that as a victory through any means necessary, not always the nicest way, if you catch my drift. And then the Five of Wands is avoidance. So for me, it seems like I'm not super sure on the history of this stone. I probably should have looked it up a little bit more before I did this. Perhaps you can help me in the comments, but obviously we're looking here at some sort of lover scorned or lovers torn. I know the Kitsune is said to be a female spirit, as we see here, so I definitely agree with that. The Seven of Swords here tells me that she's willing to do whatever it takes to get what she wants and to be victorious over something. But I'm also looking at the Five of Wands, which is avoidance, which makes me feel like she was cast to the side. Queen of Cups reverse. So she must have been cast to the side. She must have been dismissed. There's something like she was treated as less than. Ace of Swords, opportunity. Ten of Cups, happily ever after. And the Seven of Cups, a fantasy. It's like a man, it's like the tale of 1,000 men or whatever the fuck. It's like the man sold a fantasy and a happily ever after, and that's not what it was. So to me, this looks more like vengeance. It looks more like I guess this is the start of the stone here. It's like this is the... I mean, the Ace of Swords is taking a sword and doing what you want to do with it, whether it be going after someone and, you know, whatevering them, unaliving them, or, you know, getting your revenge. So for me, it definitely just looks like a woman scorned. That's what it reads as. But if I'm being honest with you, okay, I know this might be a little controversial of a take, but it doesn't read as murderous rampage. It reads as I'm finally free. I hear the word trapped. So to me, I'm wondering if that was a punishment. The Sun is about happiness and freedom. Okay. The Empress is reverse, a lack of self-love, but that's also a loss of control. And the Ten of Swords is a backstabbing and betrayal, which makes me feel like perhaps, hold on. Wheel of Fortune, good luck, opportunity, Two of Cups upright, and Death card. Okay. It feels like perhaps she was betrayed. Is it possible that she was bound to the stone? Okay, hear me out. Hear me out, 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 hear me out. Is it possible that whoever this was, that the energy that was bound to the stone, is it possible that it was the wrong one? Or is it possible that there's like a curse or like some prophecy that needs to be fulfilled? Because, okay, bear with me. I know this is an experimental reading. But to me, I see this as the story that is told, while true, is flipped. And someone was replaced. That's what it reads as. Like, someone was replaced. It looks like, okay, it'd be like if you met a certain family, they had a different story and their story was real. And in order for them to be, like, their burden of their family to be released, the stone would have to be opened. Like, that's what it reads as to me. I don't know if that makes sense, but we have the Death card, the Two of Cups, and the Wheel of Fortune, which is good luck and opportunity. And the Two of Cups is a connection between two people, and the Death card is like a death here or a rebirth. But to me, I read that as like, I'm sorry, this is what it reads as to me. It reads as like the story is real, but I'm getting frustrated because it's like, the reason I'm getting frustrated, I can feel the energy. Everyone has it wrong. So I'm wondering if the person who did this was able to frame someone else, or whoever did this was able to, I don't know, tie someone down, because there's an innocent person here who had to pay, and there's a family bloodline related to this who has had issues, who should be on the up and up now that the stone is opened, if that makes sense to you. Like, I'm totally seeing a framing. This doesn't read as a murderous demon. This reads as someone that was framed, a family that knows the truth, and a curse set free. That's what it reads as to me. That's the best way I can express this to you. Is like a family curse or a family sort of whatever is finally freed because they knew the truth. Their ancestors or whatever is the one that was framed. That's what it reads as to me. Because while it does read as woman scorned, I'm not quite sure. I'm just not sold on the fact of whoever or whatever the energy was that was blamed, or whoever was blamed is the one to blame. You know what it reads as to me? Let me tell you what it reads as to me. This is what it reads as to me. It reads as, let's say that you are an emperor, right? And your empress is your wife, and you are cheating on your empress with a maiden, right? And the empress finds out, kills the emperor, frames the maiden's energy is trapped. That's the type of vibe that I'm getting. This doesn't read as murderous. This also doesn't read as like, I want, to get revenge on everyone. It reads as, I want my story out there. Justice deserves to be delivered. People need to know the truth. That's what it reads as to me, and I could be wrong, but that's what I'm seeing, especially with, like, we're seeing fantasies when it comes to the story and the happily ever after and being sold a different fantasy. We're seeing this is like an upgrade in a relationship. So if there's an upgrade to a relationship and then a death occurred, what does that mean, right? That's the way I translate that. And then the Four of Pentacles is a selfish, stubborn person that's going to make things worse and doesn't want to let go. So it just reads as like, you're not going to ruin my family. Like, that's what it reads as to me. I just don't feel like the spirit is negative. I believe the Knight of Swords. I believe that it's an underdog. And the Four of Swords is reversed, and the Six of Cups is reversed. The past is not what it was told. And this Four of Swords, like, don't feel sorry for me. This is the energy that I'm picking up on. It's like, don't feel sorry for me. Tell my truth. But with the Knight of Swords, I want to help the underdog. So I wouldn't be surprised if this is symbolic for a lot of what's going on in the world, especially like the economy and stuff like that, and the wealth division and disparity between everyone. Because we're just seeing like the Page of Pentacles. These are all money cards, it's all pentacles, but it's also expectations, lack of effort, other people. To me, this is like a cultural reset, if you will, of inequality. I think it's like an omen. I will tell you, it definitely feels like someone did something that completed some sort of like prophecy, or like, I don't know how to describe that to you without sounding ominous, but someone completed some sort of task that like ended a cycle. It's the only thing I can tell you. Okay. So what I will say is it definitely looks like whoever's in charge, we're looking at like leaders. Whoever's in charge, leaders are definitely going to be exposed a lot more now. It feels like, again, this looks like an omen. So to me, I see it as like a lot of leaders are going to be exposed for their intentions, their infidelities, their lies, their deceit. Because it looks like knocking kings off their throne. So I see it as we're going to knock the kings off their throne. I see that also as like, yeah, wanting more women in power as well. But Fool, Seven of Pentacles reversed, and King of Wands. You want to know what I think? I'm going to be honest with you. To me, this reads as something that, because the Fool is young energy and naive energy. The Seven of Pentacles out of a comfort zone, and the King of Wands makes you think of people who go after you. Can I be honest with you? I think that this is like an entity that people could pray to or worship, or, you know, sort of ask to help for guidance or help, in order to find the true intentions of men that they're dating. Like, that's the vibe that it gives me. Like, if I wanted to see someone's intentions, I would, you know, talk to this thing or pray to it or ask it. Like, to me, this is something that has the ability to showcase a man's true intentions. That's where the power in this spirit or this entity is being lies, is that it can show you their true intentions. Because it's just what I'm seeing in my head is like my own personal dating experiences and how wanting to see like men's truth. So it's how it's translating. Yeah. Think of her like your own personal detective into your man's phone. That's what it reads as to me. So I don't see it as murderous and killing. I don't see it as destructive and chaotic. I see it as truth-bearing, truth-telling, and very much exposing. And so I think this is an omen for a lot of people in power who are going to be exposed. But I also see this as something that people can kind of, you know, ask for transparency from. I see this as just wanting to help other people not go through what they went through, whatever this is. And if someone's being blamed or framed for something, I also see this thing like showcasing itself and showing itself. So that's what it reads as to me. Maybe not as scary as everyone was hoping, but it doesn't read ominous. It doesn't read, well, it's ominous, but it doesn't read like negative. I'm not getting murderous at all. To be honest with you, I see it as like a smirking trickster, where it's like, you thought I was the one that was going to be putting the sword in your back. You put the own sword in your own back. You know, that's what it's giving. It's like, I'm going to show you that the sword was in your back the whole time. Like that, like, I don't have to kill you. Other people will do it for me. That's the type of vibe, you know, metaphorically. So that's what it's giving. It's giving like, you're your own undoing. So that's the best that I can do. I don't really know if this was an interesting reading or not. I don't really know if you guys liked this. If you did, make sure you let me know in the comments down below. I'm open to suggestions. But yeah, if you like that, make sure you tip. There's a link to my bill down below. Follow me Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, Twitch, TikTok, Antphrodite. Until next time, bye. Girl, I'm about to call on her for his mans or 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 or 6 that I have gone on dates with and dated.